2026. This stunning track behind us here, that's the last corner. We're going to see who comes to do that to take the checkered flag later on today. My name's Andrew Coley. This is Tony Villander waiting in the wings. Okay. Tony, the cars are out on track getting warmed up, but really there isn't a lot of warming up to do. The temperatures here are so high.
Yeah, I think the boiling point of the weekend has been the track temp. So in qualifying you get 1 lap or 2 laps, and then in the race you really need to see how much and when you use the tires, how you're going to change the setup from the cooler morning to the hotter afternoon. But hey, I'm coming from Finland. We haven't seen a light for 4 months. Here we had 100 Fahrenheit, so I'm just loving it.
Yeah, temperatures are beautiful for us, not so good for the guys in the cars. It is so hot down there. Who's going to be hottest out on track though? Let's go, day 2. Welcome back to the Thermal Club, day 2 of Ferrari Challenge North America 2026. It's round 1, as you can see at the bottom, but it is a double-header weekend as always. So we're going to race again today, having qualified this morning. Unbelievably, all 4 pole positions fell to the same 4 drivers as yesterday. So the form book has stayed very much the same, but we're looking forward to the racing today. Sun is beating down on us here at Thermal in California to start the season. Then we head across to Sebring in Florida, Cota down in Texas, Laguna Seca and Sonoma back here over here in California, June and July, Road America, and then the finale Mondiali will be in Spain at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and that should be a good fun place to go racing to pick up those trophies. Here's a look at the track here at Thermal. There are actually 3 different loops that can be used at different times. That top loop you can see we're not using. We're using the 2 linked at the bottom, which is, I think, the most regular race configuration here. Turn 1 is a hairpin. There was a bit of contact there yesterday. I think people need to give a bit more space. And we saw also contact in the braking zones at either end of the straights. 10 through 14 is absolutely crucial in terms of getting a lap time right. Yesterday we saw some of our winners managing to get away at the start, and then we had some full course yellow incidents which put the pack back together, and a little bit of carnage, I think it's fair to say, on the restart, particularly in Pirelli AM. So hopefully everybody will be sensible today. We know that race controllers had a word and said, come on now, tidy it up, everybody. Track temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, very similar to yesterday, although I would say it feels a little bit hotter today than it did yesterday, even though the breeze is a little bit stronger. It should be a fun afternoon. So my name's Andrew Coley. I will be announcing for you today. Alongside me is Tony Villander, GT driver and a Ferrari ambassador. He's with us all season, and also Nina Jade Paul is down in the pit lane. We'll go down and have a chat with her soon. We've got cars coming in from Track Attack, which is the session which has just finished. Another part of the Ferrari Corsa Pilota program, basically. And Tony, packed weekend of action here. Cars out on track, and some of our drivers even taking the opportunity to run their GT cars in between. So they're very hot.
Yeah, some of our drivers also members of this Thermal Club. So we have mixed knowledge of the track. Having said that, there's many testing sessions in Ferrari Challenge over the week, closing to the weekend of racing. Yesterday showed that it's not super easy to race at this track. It's very technical, like you said. You need to give a little bit space to the other drivers as well. I would say at the start, the first half of the lap is very intense. We had contacts in turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and by the time you
4, 5,
by the time you get to the S's, so basically almost until turns 8 and 9, you get plenty of action. So very intense 30-minute races. Track was faster this morning throughout the 4 qualifying sessions. We had 4 similar pole position setting drivers. Performance is there. Now you just need the consistency in the race to perform on top and then to be on the top step of the podium.
Yeah, and consistency was good yesterday, as we said, for our winners, but a little bit less so further down in the field, and a little bit of contact. 5 people actually penalised in the end. We didn't realise during qualifying this morning, Gerdas Venceslas was also given a penalty of starting in the pit lane. So 2 drivers, that's in the Pirelli AM category, will be starting in the pit lane. And so they took the clever decision not to do any full laps during qualifying. They went out, Tony, did a scrub lap and came straight back in.
Yeah, like you said, some penalties from yesterday, but now we turn the page and the racing. New day, new race. Yeah, strategy playing out there due to the penalties. Some drivers didn't set a proper lap, saving the tires for the race. The temperature is a big issue. We saw cars starting to move a little bit more after half distance of the race. So the last 15 minutes will be more demanding, more car control at the high-speed corners. You're losing that lateral load, lateral grip on tires, and you need to work that steering wheel a bit harder. Also lap times going down a bit during the race, so there is a variation of 1 to 2 seconds during that 30 minutes of racing. So also car setup, physical condition of the driver is very hot inside the race car. So all this is a combination that it makes, on paper, 30 minutes, easy job. In real life, not so.
Absolutely. Now, one of our drivers out here today, you will know from his Hollywood career. Here he is, number 100, Nicholas Hoult. I think made most famous initially by the movie About a Boy with Hugh Grant, which is a fantastic film. And then recently, of course, has been in all sorts of things like X-Men, various different franchises, Superman. Nicholas Hoult is in great physical condition, I assume, because he's got some sort of filming role coming up. He's making his race debut here after spending quite a long time training with Ferrari ahead of getting to do his first racing this weekend. He did well yesterday, but let's take a little look at his backstory.
The journey's been incredible. It's been 5.5 years since I did my first Corsa Pilota here at this track, so it's a big step up this weekend. I'm so excited to finally be in the race. It's such an infectious energy to be at the track, and I've, being here on these weekends, I've watched so many of the races, and that start, side by side, rolling start, it just feels, I'm terrified to be part of it, but I'm also just, it's really a dream come true. Everyone who's part of Ferrari, now feels like family. Every time I come back to the pits and hang out in the paddock, it's like I know so many people from all these years. And the cars are just, they sound incredible, they're beautiful to drive, and it's a lot of fun. The adrenaline rush in this is way more intense. Sometimes when you're doing those big action movies, there's a lot of focus and attention to detail, but also I just feel comfortable in that environment, I suppose. This environment, I'm out of my comfort zone, trying to listen to all the inputs from everyone. You have a wonderful team supporting you, but there's also an element of there's real danger. And it's just a lot to comprehend and take in. But also sometimes I'm like, if I just fake it like I do on set, then maybe that'll be all right.
He's being very modest there about faking it until he makes it, because actually, Tony, yesterday, really impressive in qualifying. Today's a little bit further down the order, but having done a race start now and having an idea about what's going to happen, hopefully things will be a bit easier for him.
Yeah, he's done great. He's nervous.
Of course.
New experience, but he avoided turn 1 accident. There was cars spinning in front of him at the race start yesterday. Avoided that. Needs a little bit more experience. Driving in Club Challenge or doing Corsa Pilota is one thing. You have less pressure. Race weekends are different. You need to have the right mindset, and there's no shortcuts. You just need the right amount of experience to then improve your level. Yesterday, P4, P5 in qualifying. Today, a little bit further back. But still, the target is to do the full race distance and gather all the information, all the experience for the future.
I think he'll enjoy this one. Say be a bit more in the pack. In some ways it'll be almost a more fun learning experience if he needs to pass more drivers. So we know he was quick yesterday. Today qualifying hasn't gone quite so well, so we can assume he's got the pace to maybe pass some of those guys. Now he's going to be in the pack, and that's another part of the learning curve.
Yeah, the thing is also, when you are learning all these new things, the track was way faster this morning. It was between half a second to even a second faster than yesterday. So to be able to adapt these conditions, to feel the grip, suddenly the track has more performance and gives you more feeling, but maybe with the lack of experience you are still stuck with the same rhythm, so you cannot move forward the same way like the track is allowing you to do. And this is, like I said, you just need more laps, more experience, stay in the group. Also the qualifying with a lot of cars on track. Yesterday a little bit of traffic for him. So there's many things to learn, not only how to communicate with your team, but also how to see what's going to happen in the race, how to race different drivers, because everyone is an individual. One driver gives a little bit more space, other driver is closing the line since the start of the race. So you just need to learn how to make room, how to make those overtaking opportunities. And yeah, it must be a great feeling though.
We'll see how he gets on. Very much looking forward to seeing this one. Now, a driver with a lot more knowledge of this track is Kyle Washington. He's one of the members of the Thermal Club, and he took us for a run earlier on in the weekend.
Hi guys, I'm Kyle Washington, driver of the #1 car here at Ferrari Challenge at the lovely Thermal Club in Southern California. A beautiful day. I'm about to take you on a lap around this gorgeous track.
Okay, here we go. Start finish at Thermal Club. Coming into the first hairpin 180-degree turn. This is going to be chaos in the start. It's a very slow turn. You got to be patient. Use all the track back on the power. Get to the left for turns 2 and 3, which is a double apex. It's a soft brake coming in. Soft brake, ride the brake, gear down. Be patient. Back to power, back to power. And now that we're in a real technical section, we got a left, right. Here you have to be patient. Left, right, stay on the apex, back to power. Now this next corner is the most important one because it leads on to the longest straightaway on the track. So you got to get a good exit. It's very crucial right here. Back to power as soon as possible, but you need full power. And now you're bored for a long time until you hit about 160 miles an hour. And then it is a maximum braking, threshold braking here. And this is also a double apex. It's a left, back to power. Turning onto the first carousel. This is a smaller carousel. It's a full right. Be patient, right. Quick straightaway. And then we're on the long carousel. This is a long left. Be patient, back to power. Then we're up over the hill. It's a blind hill, but nothing treacherous until you get to the S's. Boom, you got to take that curve. It's a most important part of the track right here, and the most dangerous. Coming on to a tight 180 onto another long straightaway. Back to power, use all the track. Long, nice straightaway. You can have time to look at your gauges, look at your tire pressures, and hope the gauge is purple. Threshold braking. Long right. It's almost a double right. Back to power into a blind right. There we almost go off the track, but you need all that track. And that's a lap at the Thermal Club.
So one of the things you could see there was his predicted time on the steering wheel, Tony, and that updates multiple times around the circuit.
Yeah, very impressive onboard lap. I was about to write down the tracks that it reminds me. There's some parts of Paul Ricard, some parts of Road Atlanta, some parts of maybe Watkins Glen and the VAR, Virginia SS. So
yeah,
there's very nice sequence of corners. Those long corners where you need a lot of support from the rear and then a lot of traction before long straight. Those are very important, and also almost a little bit of annoying corners because you would like to carry a lot of speed, but like you heard on the onboard lap, patience.
Waiting.
Yeah, wait. You need to wait. You need to balance you need to balance your entry speed with the exit speed, and obviously you need to exit very fast. Earlier you go on power, more speed you carry on the next straight. So very smooth, very nice and technical lap here in Thermal.
I think that's one of the nice things about a place like the Thermal Club is you go, right, okay, I want to build a track. Yeah, but I want this from there, and I want that from here, and I want that corner from here. And yeah, obviously most of our tracks, a lot of our tracks in the UK, for instance, are old World War II airfields. We've got some with amazing elevation change, but they've developed over 100 years in some cases, whereas here this is a brand new facility. Go, right, what do I like? I want to chuck that in there. I want a bit of this, I want a bit of that. It's like building a skate park as a kid, isn't it, or something? You just put all your favourite stuff in it. Yeah,
but I must say it's a beautiful track. I saw the races earlier here with IndyCar, and they did well here, and also now with the Ferrari Challenge it has proved already during the week that this is a working concept, and also the racing yesterday was good. Obviously, it's tricky to have a tight hairpin as turn one, so you know that drivers need to collaborate a bit at the start, but overall the lap is very beautiful here.
Lewis Flory's car there with the leaf blower running into the front. If you're not familiar why, that's just to keep the airflow up when the car is at a standstill, so you can keep some air going through the radiators and try to keep the temperatures down a little bit.
Yeah, we had the numbers earlier for track temp and air temp, but I don't agree.
You think hotter?
I think it's hotter today.
I think it's a lot hotter than yesterday. So it feels that way.
And I would not be surprised to have a tarmac surface 120.
Yeah.
So closer to 50 Celsius than 40 Celsius. So it's very, very hot out there. And these moments, you have a hot race car. It's been warmed up. It's been running in the tent, and then drivers getting ready. Everything is boiling, and you don't get the fresh air inside the cockpit. So this is the moment where you just need fresh air, and you want things to start rolling and get the race underway.
Yeah, you kind of feel like hot and a bit sick sometimes. You're really sweaty. I think at this point you just want to go. And when you go, of course, then you get some airflow into the car. So some drivers have a hose coming off the side window, which will add a bit more. You've got the little window sliders. You need airflow through it. You're still not going to be cool in there, not at all. But you're kind of getting on with the job, and at that point you stop thinking about the rest of it.
Yeah, in my races, I always preferred going into my seat a bit earlier because I wanted to calm down, sort of concentrate what's coming ahead, concentrate for the start. Sometimes races like Road Atlanta, Sebring, Daytona, it's so many people on the pre-grid and just so much things going on. I just want my own space. I just go inside the car, close the doors, have maybe a little bit of extra ventilation coming inside the car, but that's it. Like we see here, the final checks on tire pressures. One of the crucial key things for the race, and let's say, hey, cover that measurement, don't show the pressures to the others.
Yeah, you don't want them to know.
Yeah, but this is one of the key things. Tires are same for everybody. You can run different camber settings, you can run different settings on your race car, but it's the 4 tires that are touching on the tarmac, and that is the most important thing. In racing and overall, you can have few horsepower more, few horsepower less, but if you don't have the right grip, you cannot do anything. So tires are the key element.
And that's true of whether you're running a $2,000 race car or a $2 million race car. There are still only 4 things in contact with the road, the 4 tires, and as you say, that's pretty bang on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also with GT cars over the years, we tested a lot on tires. You can have a better throttle map, you can have a leaner mixture on the engine, but it's 0.01 per lap. And then suddenly you have the right set of tires, and it's half a second a lap, and over a stint it can be 15 seconds. So that's the big difference.
I wonder when they were creating these leaf blowers and things, Tony, with the batteries on, they had any idea how many they would sell into the racing industry. You know, like we see them in F1 and all the rest of it. I'm surprised that, I don't know, Milwaukee or Makita or anyone hasn't done a deal and gone, right, okay, we'll get in there. But yeah, they're used extensively. You can see there's some of the drivers having the air blown into the cockpit just to try and cool things down. I can see. Oh, okay. We're getting ready to go. The 2 safety cars are ready to split the 2 parts of the grid up. Let's head down to Nina Jade Paul, who's on the grid.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
There we go. The rumble begins. The doors get closed. This is the part of the day where you're finally getting to go and do the job. Look, the gloves are on. You've done tighten the little bit of Velcro around the glove. You do the final pull down on the belts. You do your final radio checks. Have a look at the gauges. The grid gets cleared and you're on your own. You've got to go and do it now. Deep breath and get it done. I love this bit.
And that's a good point. Driver's responsibility is always to check all the setting on the steering wheel, DC, engine mapping, whatever you have, it's on your responsibility. The crew, the mechanics, they're touching the car continuously. And if you do the race distance in wrong setting, you might lose a lot of performance. It has happened with the pro and the best drivers. So always stay alert and always check the gauges, always check that everything is right like it's supposed to be.
Everything just so.
Yeah, don't do the race distance with safety car map.
No. Or as we saw
I
yesterday.
have some names who have done it.
Really?
Yes, but let's not. I can say it Friday night at Sebring.
Really? And the thing is, there's no hiding it, is there? Because they'll see the data in the end of their
Exactly.
Right, okay then, the cars are rolling out and we are getting ourselves ready for day 2 here at the Thermal Club. Copper Shell and Copper Shell Am rolling out on track for their second encounter here from the Thermal Club, the opening round of the 2026 Ferrari Challenge North America. Mike Chen taking his second pole of the weekend. Gary Ott close behind at 0.4 of a second between them. Chuck Whittle, yes, they went up the inside of Gary Ott. Can he do it again? Michael Owens on row 2-2. Brad Evans, Ryan Dayton on row 3. Then we've got Joel Rose and Brian Waltersdorf on row 4. Lewis Flory and Kevin Orsini row 5. And row 6, Michael Moyes and Andrew Parker. Row 7, Javier Rodriguez Borgio and Blake Rosser. Blake Rosser, yesterday's winner in this category, remember, Copper Shell Am. Melissa Kozira and Fabian Sperman. Kozira flying this year, as she was towards the end of last year. John Lennon with the nod look. Tim Dweet as well, he's good to go. And row 10, Glenn Moss and Lance Corley. Row number 11, Ed Vartugin and Steve Check. Row 12 is Henry Hummel and Nicholas Hoult, the Hollywood actor. Needs to make some passes. We'll keep an eye out for it. Heading down through the rest of the grid behind Nicholas Hoult, we've got Jamie Garrett and Luis Peruskia on the next row. Then it's Jeffrey Nunberg and Joe Spasato on row 16, Darren Bernstein and Jesus Mendoza. And on the final row, row 17, Jeffrey Keel and Bernard Gomez. Okay, good stuff. We are ready. The drivers are ready. Gary Ott will want to make sure here that he defends that front row. We've been loving watching Gary because he's been pushing, and we love Ascender. So Gary has been going for it. He was in the midst with the racing yesterday. We were actually looking forward to a really good end to the race, and then unfortunately full course yellow kind of spoiled that for us. We didn't get to see the very end, but today at least the start hopefully will be nice and clean, and we can have some good battles throughout the 30-minute race distance.
Yeah, Gary Ott is starting P2 like he did yesterday, and he didn't have a good start. He dropped down to P3 or even P4 at the start of the race, so he needs to be more careful when and where to accelerate, not to be too late compared to Chen when he has the decision to accelerate. So Gary needs to be more focused, more alert at the start.
And of course, yesterday Gary was very close to Chen at the start like this, but Chen must cross the start-finish line first. But he can choose when to accelerate, and yeah, it's tricky to learn. So let's see who can get it done this time. Gary Ott on the front row several times last year and this year too as well now, but say beaten to the pole by Mike Chen. Coming to the last corner, Chen, he's making them wait as he comes round. He's looking for the green flag. As they cross the start-finish line, the pack is really bunched up. There is the green flag, and they're away. So Chen on the inside. Ott looks to have got a better start on the outside, but Chuck Whittle will go deep. Gary Ott clips it on the way in. Goes a little bit early on the break. Maybe Mike Chen, the leader, and Gary Ott just clipped him. Did well to avoid taking him out. That's as close as it gets. He's lost the position to Chuck Whittle, but he looks inside now. So Gary Ott inside Chuck Whittle on the run down. Wants to go late on the break if he wants to get through. Can't do it this time round. Michael Owens is in P4. Wow, okay, so yeah, that was close, and you could see he was defending from behind. You could see that he knew Chuck Whittle was coming, but it didn't quite go according to plan. Now, here comes the Shell Am ride drivers. Blake Rosser, yesterday's winner, on the pole in the all-red Ferrari, and he is away immediately. John Lennon, I think he's up to P3. He started in 4th place. Nicely done. Melissa Kozira is where, maybe down to 4th place there. She's the black and blue car in P4. But another machine up the inside. She's going to have to go very late on the brakes if she wants to defend that place. Oh, nearly contact between them there. Might be an opportunity for Kozira to get through. John Lennon loses a place to P4, I think. Yes, he does. So Lennon in P4. Who's it that's making the passes in the black and yellow? Didn't catch a number on the side of the car. So Kozira drops down to P5. but a tidy start again. So less carnage overall yesterday than we saw, Tony.
Yeah, Garriott had a really good acceleration from the last turn and to the start and finish. He had the space to go behind the leader, but he left some space for Witzel, and then Gary had to brake really late. Chen was earlier on brake, so he ran in the back of the leader, and a little bit of scary moment, but luckily no one's race was damaged there too much. But Garriott, once again, the movement maker at the start of the race.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to go inside, Tony. I would like
to,
because Whittle was coming, I would like to have seen him go inside. And where Chen was early on the brakes, actually, it might have been an opportunity to get the whole shot. But of course, he then got caught out by Chen being on brakes because he chose to go outside, probably looking for the cutback on the exit. But he's right here with Chuck Whittle now. Chuck Whittle's livery looking outstanding. I don't know if you saw him on the podium yesterday. Crash helmet's the same, race suit is the same. Absolutely brilliant. Garriott right underneath his rear wing and looking to try and find a way through. Bit of wheel spin on the exit there you saw, and he loses some ground.
Yeah, he's trying to put some pressure on Whittle and to see if he makes a mistake and opens overtaking opportunity. While we see here some more action going into turn 2.
Florian Parker behind here trying to find a way past Lewis Flory. Just in front of them is Brad Evans. Michael Owens and Brad Evans. A little way further up the road. Stream of cars coming through. There's Flory with the big blue stripe down the middle, and then behind him Mercedes Parker with ice creams all down the side of the car. I could eat an ice cream right now, I have to say. Not the time for it, maybe afterwards.
Yeah, clean start, clean opening laps in overall. There's a piece of carbon fiber going into turn 1 where Garriott hit Chen's rear diffuser. That is offline, but there is some debris on track into turn 1.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it is off Chen's diffuser, isn't it? Because I couldn't see any damage on the front of Gary's machine. There we are. A couple of cars back from here is Kevin Orsini, the black car with the white stripe down the middle, and this is Lennon coming under pressure from Kozira. Kozira on the inside line, but not quite close enough. Compromises the exit a little bit, but Melissa trying to make moves here. See the position changes. Walter Storb has lost 3 places, Moyes as well. Andrew Parker up 3 places. See Copper Shell, nicely done by them. Good to see a tidy start. Let's hope we get a full race distance today. That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
here is Whittle. Go on.
Race leader Chen has pulled away from these two. He has already almost a 2.5 second lead. So he's really cleared, and Garriott has some more pace probably than Witzel. He's following really closely. It's difficult also the SS and everything being so flat, so it's difficult to see the inside curbs and everything when you are so close to the car. Oh,
yeah,
big
a lot
damage.
of damage. Yeah,
big damage on the right rear.
Doesn't seem to be affecting him in terms of lap time, and I don't think there'd be a penalty for that personally. Do you? I mean, it's
I would say racing accident. There was just the 2 cars behind Chen were fighting for position. Chen had the corner. He braked a bit earlier. And the main thing is all 3 drivers can continue the race, and there was no further drama at the start.
Looking at Nicholas Hoult here behind Lance Corley. So both in the red Ferraris, obviously. Hoult is running the 100 behind here. So the white stripe down the middle of the car, which is not Hoult, that's Corley. So Hoult actually looking good on the exit here.
Yeah, he
so
had a good run from the last turn.
Looks inside, that's a good thing to do. Even if you're not going to make the move, let the driver know, I am up for coming. I am in your mirrors, I want to make a pass. Better in turn 1 as well, better, closer to the apex. So Hoult now runs the car out wide, trying to find a way through if he can. In front of them.
Yeah, he's doing well now. He just needs the determination to make the overtaking move.
It's Henry Hummel in front of him, sorry. So it's Henry Hummel that he's battling with, and in front of him Steve Czech in the gold-coloured car. So there's Czech, and I wonder if this train is going to get held up a little bit there. So he can't find a way through. This is the point where you want these guys to back him up a bit, isn't it? Okay, it goes very tight here. So Henry Hummel goes very tight in the 129. And Hoult now looking for a way through on this back straight. Come on! Nicholas Hoult trying to out-drag down the straight here. He's going to need to be late on the brakes and smooth. He can get this done. This is one of those ones where you've got to be brave and go for it. Turns into the corner and does get it done. Nicholas Hoult makes a pass.
Awesome,
Lovely.
Awesome. Good job. And must say, Nicholas has very good racing lines. So even following the other car, he had always a bit tidier racing line. You just need to bring the speed up a bit. And the qualifying today wasn't perfect compared to yesterday, but looks like he's in good shape in this race.
We said, didn't we, that this would be another part of the learning curve. He's eating Steve Check alive here now. Nicholas Hoult with better pace. We know he qualified 4th yesterday. Now he comes down through this technical part of the circuit. Be patient and get it lined up for the long straight. Steve Check runs wide. Nicholas Hoult does not. He's holding his line. He's not getting distracted by the car in front.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Nicholas did this on purpose, qualified further back to put on a show. What a show, man.
He's a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
I mean, why would he not? Okay, here we go then. He's going to try and make another move here, maybe on Steve Check. He's close enough to pick up a toe. Down through these sweeping long corners. Look how close he is to the curb again. So this is going well. He must be staying nice and calm in the car.
Oh, he has good speed.
Run to turn 1. Here we go. It's got to be done on the inside here. He's absolutely as close as can be. Pulls out now. Just got to be brave on the brakes. Steve Check a little bit later. Don't go there. And he backs out a bit. He knew, didn't he, that there wasn't going to be quite enough time.
Yeah, he left enough gap so he could back off. He didn't go too much further up and then run into contact. So good fight.
I think Steve is good on the brakes, it seems.
Would it be a perfect day? Run Ferrari Challenge on Sunday and in the evening get an Oscar.
Yes!
So that would be a perfect. So that's a normal day at the office.
Pop over. He may well be going to the Oscar ceremony tonight. You just don't know, do you? So, yeah. Steve Check with the gold livery. Absolutely mega looking car. Nice bloke, Steve. Actually, last year he had quite a big crash in Miami, if I remember correctly, at the F1 circuit. Ended up hitting the wall hard there. So Hoult not quite close enough after that sequence of corners to do this straight again, which was the favoured passing move last time.
Now the thing is he needs to keep his own rhythm. If you go to the rhythm of car ahead, then you start having a pressure from behind and the other cars can close into you. So Nicholas just needs to keep up the rhythm and if possible make another move so he can his race can move forward.
So we're at the front of the pack now with Copper Chalam. This is Rosser and Sperman. So Ross in the 113 and Rosser was yesterday's winner. Sperman was P2 yesterday as well. So same 2 drivers in the top 2 positions, but then it's Duit in P3. Lennon and Kozira 4 and 5. So Melissa Kozira still hasn't found a way past John Lennon yet.
Shelam leader Rosser very aggressive over the SS, riding those curbs just on the edge. And Sperman behind was a little bit more cautious, more smooth. But good stuff from these drivers.
I like what they're doing with the starts now. So last year we separated the 2 groups by maybe 5 seconds. Now we're separating the 2 groups by 25, 30 seconds with 2 safety cars, and it's allowing us to see 2 races. Gary Ott up the inside of Chuck Whittle here, dispatched him, and he's up to P2. That's a great move by Gary. Don't know how long he's been lining that up for. He'll now have to try and hold Chuck off, of course. Michael Owens in behind them as well. So Chuck Whittle, if he wants to respond, needs to have a go now. Looks inside. He's late on the brakes, but not late enough. Gary Ott covers him off.
Yeah,
okay.
Good fight. And Gary had to make the move because Michael Owens was closing on these two drivers. So Gary Ott losing the position at the start. So it took him 10 minutes to get that position back.
Let's pull up our other timing screen here in commentary, and we can see what last lap and fastest laps are. So lots of people doing their fastest on this last encounter, but not the top 3. Chen, Whittle and Ott going faster earlier on in the race. Here is Owens with the black door. That's because yesterday he had a big old shunt. Actually in this quick section here, wasn't it? Span to the inside and hit the wall, and the team had to arrange a spare car, a rental car. And you can see the bumper on the rear aero. He's now into the back of Chuck Whittle. So Whittle coming under a bit of pressure here from Owens as well, and he'll know, and that's allowed Gary Ott to get away. Now Gary's got a gap out front. It was 4.7 to Whittle and 0.3 back to Ott, so unless Ott has already started eating into that, he's probably got to find 5 seconds to get up to Mike Chen.
Yeah, Whittle is struggling a bit on the hairpins. He's running a bit wide.
Big difference in exit speed here from Owens and Whittle. Owens on the inside line on the run to the first corner. He's going late on the brakes. Whittle, no squeeze, the door shut.
Yeah, Whittle is struggling a bit with the grip on the hairpins, and even the speed through the last turn. He was way down on Michael Owens. So this is playing in hands of Gary Ott, so he's able to pull away in P2 and clear the gap between these cars.
So what's the gap from these guys back? We're just trying to see what the biggest gap is. After Owens, it's 3.6 back. Yeah, so there's a 3.6 gap back to Evans. So there's a group of 3 here. and it's about the interval up to Chen, but until they come to the start-finish line, we won't know if Gary Ott's eaten into that or not. It was 5. No, I would say at the minute. I just counted, if you're wondering. So you use a marker at the side of the track. It's the old school way of doing it. You pick a marker, it could be anything, a telegraph pole, a braking board, and you literally count the seconds in your head, and I reckon it's still about 5, maybe a little bit more. And Ott might have lost time, of course, with the pass on Whittle.
I think Whittle got back to the rhythm because looked for a moment that Gary Ott is really pulling away, but now they are appearing in the same picture again. So Whittle's rhythm was a little bit off, and now it's back back in shape.
Back in shape indeed, and under a bit less pressure from Owens. Fastest lap is with Mike Chen at the moment in this category. Coppershell, your leader. I'm trying to see the fastest lap. I think it was Sperman earlier had the fastest lap in Shell-Am. 204.594. No, the fastest lap is the leader. Ross has done a 204.438. So Ross, and there you go. The little purple stopwatch tells you what you need to know about who's got the fastest time. They're 5 laps in at 17:30 to go, so just a little way over half distance. So probably a 12 lapper. It's a long lap here.
It is, and it's very technical. Also demanding for the tires racing line. If you need to be defensive the whole lap, it takes a lot out of your driving and of your tires. So if you have the whole race distance, you being under pressure all the time, it takes a lot out of you. If you have a little bit of breathing space, it's a lot easier. Here we have Jeffrey Nürnberg.
Up 5 places, look, Jeffrey Nürnberg on the ladder on the left-hand side, doing a great job climbing up. Sitting in P10, he's got a little bit of pressure from behind from Hummel. No, Henry Hummel's in the red car, I think, so somebody's made a pass during the lap. Maybe Roberts, not sure. Yeah. Oh, Lennon here. Very close indeed.
Slight touch between the two.
Yeah, Tweed in the 137, Lennon in the 199. So Tweed in P3. So Lennon obviously trying to find a way through, but not able to at the moment. The gap is 4.4, so out front, that's in Coppershell. So Gary Ott has taken 3/10 out of Mike Chen, but with half race distance, if he only did 3/10 a lap, he wouldn't get there, because we've done 6 laps, and 6 times 3/10 is only 2 seconds. That would be if he could maintain that over the entire rest of this race. And of course the tyres will start to cry. Probably are crying already, especially in these long carousel corners. Oh, it's been. The 117's gone round. That's Jeffrey Keel. So Jeffrey Keel was already at the bottom of the stack. I wonder if he's got some sort of a problem. He spun the car. Let me see how far off the rest of the pack he is. Maybe how far back? He was only 5.5 off the back of Gomez, but
yeah, on the last lap he did his personal best, so maybe trying a bit too much.
Yeah, see, yeah, 210.7, 210.7, sorry, 2010. Wake up, Coley. Okay, so coming down the front straight, Parker. In behind Parker is Orsini.
Yeah, like yesterday, around mid-race, these groups are forming and things start to happen.
Well predicted, Tony Villander.
Yeah.
Come on, don't get it stuck in the loose. Thank you very much. Borgio, Javier Borgio, was it Borgio had the broken wing yesterday? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so Rodriguez Borgio yesterday broke his rear wing in an earlier contact and then dropped it on the brakes at the end of the straight, sort of looking up the inside of someone. Got a bit excited in turn 1 there in that train of 4 cars, and as Tony said, now with the tyres starting to go off a bit, temperatures coming up, drivers getting tired, it's kind of the worst possible combo. Your grip is going down, your concentration is going down, and the mistakes maybe start to come. John Lennon continuing here to try to close down that gap in front to Tim Tweed. I think he is closing the gap down a little bit again, but closing the gap and finding a way through 2 different things. Fabian Sperman just in front of them. Here's Nürnberg still defending. It is Roberts behind him in the 144.
Yeah, and I think the race leader Chen is just controlling the pace. He had a very strong start for the race, and also his fastest lap time. He's just way ahead compared to the others.
It is
2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
a second faster than the others.
Yeah, so he certainly had the pace when the tyres were good. He did lose 4 tenths on that last lap. So Gary Holt's got it down to 4, but that's still not enough. He needs to be taking 8 tenths a lap of him if he wants to be challenging him, I reckon, by the end of this encounter. And as you say, by now, Gary's trying, isn't he, in the background? He's up over the curb. What is it now? 4.1. He's lost a tenth. So Chen responds, and that may well just be one radio call going, picking up a tiny bit, 4 tenths. And drivers like.
Hey, look at Gary, tight, turn 1.
Yes.
First time of the weekend.
Maybe watching you earlier on, Tony.
Yeah, he was tight. Earlier in the weekend, he had too much speed going into the corner and losing at the exit. Now he kept it tight. Very good speed in the entry and just concentrated on mid to exit. So have a good acceleration out of turn 1. Those are typical parts where driver wants to overdrive, thinking that I carry in maximum speed and then just lose at the exit. And with telemetry, with your driver coach, it's very easy to spot these things, and it's often about the rhythm and getting it right on each track.
He was 4th yesterday. Last year he had 4 times in P3 and twice in P2. He's got a little look at the black lines laid down there. Still got it to the apex though, did well. That's a bit later than he'll want to be, but I think that goes to show you he has not given up hope here on chasing down Mike Chen in front. So we'll see what the difference is at the end of this lap. So last time it was 4.1.
You can see the damage also on Carey's car on the front left.
Oh yeah, maybe missing just one of the aero pieces, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there's damage next to the headlight on the front left when he tried to avoid Chen.
Yeah, I see. Just on the Pirelli logo, underneath the bonnet pin, isn't it? The hood pin on the front of the car.
It's very good for everyone's weekend that there was no bigger damage, and also Chen can continue his race without an issue, because it was tight. It was tight. If you sometimes have a contact in the wrong place, technical issue, radiator.
Well, we saw yesterday a few people with just 2 degrees of extra tow, and it ruined the race.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Gary was 4.1 back. What is he as he comes over the line? I'll check and see for you. 4.4. So Mike Chen has responded and taken 3 tenths off him, and I thought it was quite a good lap from Gary, but this is what you were saying maybe about Chen having a little bit more in the bank. To be fair, everybody's lap times now are 2+ seconds off where they were at the start of the race, and that's tyres.
Yeah, this is the tyre degradation, so very hot track temp, so the surface of the tire overheats, and you just don't have enough support in corners like this, where earlier you went 50 to 100 meters on full throttle earlier. Now you just need to balance between the grip and how much power you can use from the throttle, and then just manage the tires towards the end of the race. Also TC settings. Do you start the race already with a little bit higher setting, or you increased with the feeling when you feel that the tires are going down, you increase the TC settings and have more support from the electronics and less wheel spin from the hairpins.
You were on board there with Jamie Garrett, who you're looking at now, with another great livery on the car. She was 2nd yesterday in the Ladies' Cup. Melissa Kozira taking that. Good to see more and more female influence on the grid. Not just in the cars either. Absolutely tons of females working in motorsport. If you're not aware, you need to get amongst it. Up the inside. There's going to be a bit of contact here. You've got to be aware of the car inside you.
Yeah, 5-car train shaping into 6 or 7 cars soon. So.
Yeah. Nürnberg at the front with just a little bit of breathing space, thanks probably to the amount that's going on behind him. The 176 is Lance Corley. The 157 is Mendoza. So Mendoza is there.
I heard some
tyre screeching.
maybe.
Yeah, I did too, and I don't think they've gone round. Yellow flag. Someone's done something silly because the yellow. Yeah, it is. Off at the side of the road. Who was that? Oh, come on, be aware now. They're going much slower than you are. Going to lose places here, but I have no idea who that is, I'm afraid, from this angle. Going to get past again on the inside on the brakes here. So yeah, 3 cars through after what must have been, I reckon, a half spin. The recovery was pretty quick from when we heard the noise to when we heard them going in the right direction again. This is what we had yesterday, wasn't it? Brilliant little battles through the rest of the race. Once the tyres started to go off, I think the battles got better because the mistakes creep in.
Yeah,
So
like we mentioned earlier, this is not an easy track to follow another car very closely. You need to hit all those inside curves, and if you cannot have a perfect view, if you just see another car's rear wing, it's difficult to place the car in the right place.
So this is a great battle. So Brad Rosser leads in the red Ferrari, bottom of your picture now. Behind him, Fabian Sperman, then it's Tim Dweet and John Lennon. So these three are fighting for a position on the podium. One of them's not going to get on the podium. And then obviously it's a case of whether they can bridge the gap to Rosser. To be fair, Rosser is only 2.1 seconds up the road from Sperman. So it's not over at all. Sperman, though, coming under a bit of pressure from behind as well, with Dweet and Lennon too. So a great battle between them. They're all keeping it quite sensible at the minute, but with the clock running down, if you want to make a move, you're going to have to get decisive about it pretty soon. Here they come, the top 4 now in Copper Shell Am. Rosser looking for the double win after yesterday, and Sperman was P2 yesterday. He'd like to go one better today if he can. Lennon in the mirrors of Dweet in front of him. Trying to see where Dweet finished yesterday, was 11th in Shell Am yesterday. So this is a much better performance being up in P3. Hard to manage a lead which is only this size, isn't it? You know, Ross's lead is, say, 2.1. It's not enough, is it, to chill out?
Yeah, you need to keep your full focus, but
Lennon
also
inside. Sorry, Tony. John Lennon trying to go inside Dweet here, but it's going to come back the other way. Cuts to the inside again as we come into the quick right-hander. He was very, very close. There wasn't room there. You wonder sometimes, is it better to wait until you get to the straight? But go on, I interrupted, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, you need to keep doing your maximum effort, the best lap times possible. If you relax too much, the chance for mistake and error increases a lot. So you really need to stay focused. It's a little bit more than 6 minutes to go. And right now it's looking good to do a full race distance under green and get great battles still on track.
I really hope we can. That'd be absolutely brilliant. So Lennon still piling the pressure onto Dweet. He wants to get on the podium. Finished the race yesterday in the gravel trap. Oh, Lennon moves to the inside line. He's looking to go late on the brakes, but he's sensible enough not to this time. Both get a good exit. And you can see the cars moving around. Lennon stays over on the right-hand side of the track. And this is Chuck Whittle. So Whittle coming under pressure here on the inside line. Owens is trying to make a pass at the end of the straight. Whittle goes deep, but runs deep. So Whittle leaving a car's width inside. Owens trying to find a way alongside, but can't quite. And that's a good job by Whittle on the outside line there. Must have made some sort of an error to have Owens right that close behind. Lessie just pulled a slipstream move on him at the end of the straight, but Whittle does a fantastic job to hold him off. Late on the brakes, even though he was inside him, gave him room and just carried on round the outside to close the door in the next one.
Yeah, good battles. Whittle is struggling a bit. Since the mid-distance of the race, his cornering speed, medium to high-speed corner, has been a little bit down. He went off a little bit, off the racing line, off the sequence in the S's.
So that's going to cost him big time. Now Owens is going to be there. Owens comes out wide and will look to square off the exit here and be on the throttle earlier. So can he get a better exit? Oh no, through the gravel. 101, he's off through the gravel. That's Moyes, has gone through the gravel, but thankfully gets it back on. And Owens is not close enough, so Whittle holds on again. 4 minutes 57 to run. He's into the final couple of corners here. The kinks through 15, then 16, the round of turn 17 onto the straight. Here it is. And Whittle's going to have to hang on for another couple of laps. Owens with much better exit speed this time round. Michael Owens trying to make a pass. I think he'll get it done this time. Surely Whittle will see him. He does. Owens with a tidy move. Got a good exit. Holds it on the curbs on the inside line and he's through.
Yeah, great move. Whittle is down a little bit on these medium to high speed cornering speeds and maybe lost a little bit of grip from these race tires. This would be great for Michael Owens if he can hold P3 after difficult qualifying yesterday, spare car, and also not super performance in today's qualifying. So Michael Owens is doing a great job now in this race too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what you want, isn't it? From a rough weekend, you want to go home feeling positive. Oh, and as we say that, sideways on turning. You said that the balance of the car changes, Tony, as the race goes on and it gets loose.
Yeah, many cars need to have a setup more to a neutral race car, because many of the hairpins, a lot of change of direction, so you need a good reactive front end. But this means that from half distance to the end of the race, this will come a little bit more oversteery, so you need to balance with your driving and cornering speed, how much entry oversteer, how much oversteer you're going to create. And with oversteer you also overheat the rear tires, so you need to find a good rhythm, good solid pace throughout this 30-minute race.
In front of them, Gary Ott's 5.3 seconds up the road, or he was on Whittle on the previous lap. Mike Chen is 6.1 up the road from Gary, so where Gary took a few tenths out of him, the pace has improved. A move up the inside here, is it, I think?
143.
Yeah, it's Jamie Garrett who made the move. Nicely done by her. She passes Ed Vartugian. So it was Vartugian who had the moment earlier on. It was Ed Vartugian. I recognised the livery, so he must have had the half spin earlier on. And yeah, nicely done there. Jamie making the pass. You're on board with her now. It's a very cool livery, I think. The screen in the middle is the driver's rear view mirror, so they can see that. You can't see it because of the way TV cameras work. It looks like it's strobing, but it works perfectly for them. And she's late on the brakes, but he's having another look. Vartugian trying to make her way back past Garrett. She holds on, got to keep it tight. 2 minutes 26 remaining, so I think we'll have potentially another lap after this one. Yeah, we should have one more lap after this. So I think it'll be this and then the checker should come out. Tim Dweet in P3, Moss in P4, this is in Coppershell Am. Spurman here with the 184. This was close, wasn't it, between them? Has it spread out a little bit now? And who's that making passes in the front? Lapped traffic, wow. Okay, so we're hearing lapped traffic from our director. So that's not what you need. At this point in the race, right at the end of the race, you don't want lap traffic. You want a nice clear track in front of you. Fabian Spurman sitting in P2. Rosser has already got through. Spurman will look to do the same as quickly as possible. Now here, Tony, if you're the lapped car, you should make way for the cars behind you.
Yeah, this is true. You need to respect the blue flags and also understand the rhythm of racing
Yeah, nicely done. That's Jeffrey Keel.
Yeah,
so Jeffrey Keel moves over. Good job.
Very well done. So you don't want to disturb too much the other cars fighting for podiums.
Big steering in from Dweet. Wasn't smooth enough as he turned in more, but kept the throttle on as if he had the wheel open, didn't he? Got away with it.
Yeah.
I wonder what the traction control setting's on now. So Rosser leads from Spurman and Dweet. What are the gaps last time round? It was, just 1.3. About 3.5 seconds between the three of them.
Yeah, here's our race leader. Chen, very dominant the whole weekend.
White,
pole position.
Oh, amazing, yeah.
Two pole positions, and now looking for a second win. Last lap.
Yeah, long way out the road from Gary Ott. Gary did his best to try and close that gap down, but Gary is going to be on the podium today, assuming he gets a clean last lap in. Chen here really can manage it. This is a great weekend for him, as you say. Imagine going home with 2 poles and 2 wins. And he got the fastest lap. Did he get the fastest lap yesterday? I have no idea, because the printout didn't go down that one extra page, so I don't know. That's my fault. I threw it away earlier. Hang on, I'm going to find it.
Yeah, he's really taking it easy now. He knows it's the last lap of the race.
He did. He got the fastest lap yesterday as well. It's in my pile of paperwork next to my chair.
Full jackpot on his way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the lottery. All 6 numbers.
Yes.
2 poles, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps. Chen nice and smooth on the throttle now. Effectively, this is a victory lap for him. But you don't want to drop it, as Tony Villander said earlier on. If you start to not concentrate, if you start to back off, the car doesn't work the same way. It's set up to be driven hard. It doesn't like not being driven hard, and it'll catch you out if you're not careful. Here is Nicholas Hoult. Where has he got to? So how far up the order has Hoult got? So he's up to P8 in his class. Henry Hummel is behind Hoult, and Hoult is coming up behind Nürnberg, isn't he? So yes, so Nicholas Hoult here and Jeffrey Nürnberg. He's got 1 lap to make 1 more move if he wants, and Nürnberg runs wide. So Hoult might have a chance here on the final lap to get another position. Nicholas Hoult Pulls out from the slipstream, not quite close enough to pick that up, and he wants to keep it tidy now. He's good and late on the brakes. He saw the nose of the car go down late. Nürnberg, he's looking cautious here, and Hoult is looking like he wants to attack.
Yeah, good fight.
Through the tight chicane, keep it tidy. Hoult uses a lot more curb. Nürnberg here is in defensive mode. I wonder if he even knows that Hoult is on the same lap. Hoult is all over the back of the rear wing. Left-hander now. Again, he's tighter. He's got to find, he needs to set himself up for somewhere he knows it can happen. That's got to be one of the two straights. You don't want to lose time now and compromise yourself. Into the final corner and over the line for Mike Chen. Double win, double pole, double fastest lap. Brilliant job by him. Behind him, Gary Ott will come through to take P2 and Michael Owens P3. You are looking at Hollywood actor Nicholas Hoult trying to make it up one more place. Been great to have him here with Ferrari Challenge North America this weekend. He's had a fantastic time, and I have to say, he's excused himself brilliantly. This is not easy. He's put in the hours in training. He's made some passes. He did brilliant qualifying yesterday. I think it's a great first weekend, and I'm hoping he'll find some time in his schedule to come back. Nürnberg, I think now follow him through here and tee him up for the long straight. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's been going on for several corners now.
Rosser takes the win in Copper Shell Am over the line behind him. Spurman holds on, and Tim Twitch is going to get P3 as well. So that's a job well done, and this is the final chance for Nicholas to get past. If he can get past Nürnberg, I don't think he's quite close enough. Nürnberg gets a better exit, and he won't be near enough to make a move now, and I don't think he'll do anything silly at the end of the straight anyway. Into the right-hander here. We've got our podium finishers, but it is brilliant to follow Nicholas Hoult as he comes around and completes his first race weekend. No damage on the car, 2 good qualifying positions, 2 good race finishes, some passing and a lot of lessons learned. Brilliant job by Nicholas Hoult. What a good lad.
Yeah, I love the fact that the way he has thrown himself into this new challenge.
Yeah.
So that's just great story. Many years practicing with Ferrari cars, and now first ever race weekend for him.
Mike Chen, double winner, double everything.
And I think Chen, after he gets to Parc Fermé, he will check the rear right. What happened at the start?
Yeah, he's going to wonder, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gary, I think Gary would be pleased with P2. I think he'd be pleased that you held Whittle off in turn 1. I think he'll probably think, I wish I'd gone on the inside instead of the outside, because I think he might have got the whole shot, and then it could have been a different story, couldn't it, as to whether or not they were going to do it. That's cool. Look at that. Lovely. Thumbs up between two drivers who've obviously enjoyed the battle together. That's the 113 of Rosser and Fabian Spurman, who's in P2 in that category. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that's great. The rivalry, you have good fights on track, but once you get to the checkered flag, the race is done. So you can also enjoy and have these great feelings. And it's a lot about winning and challenging yourself. You set the targets, and when you do a good job, this is the joy you get out of it.
Right, let's head down to Nina Jade Paul.
Well, that was a great race. Really calm, really controlled. A few hairy moments, but I must say, the atmosphere in the race very much reflected the pit lane as well. Compared to yesterday, everyone's a bit nervous. There was nervous energy. It was fear of the unknown. Today was completely different. Brilliant race. Congratulations to our winner. I am currently waiting for both of our winners to drive in here so I can give them their interview.
Thank you, Nina Jade, down there. She was doing podium duties at the start of this race. If you're wondering why she had to run up, do drivers start your engines. Copper Shell, race 2. Mike Chen with the double win. Double fastest lap, double pole. Perfect weekend. Gary Ott on the podium after being P4 yesterday. Michael Owens, P3 after a big shunt in quali on day 1. Good result for him as well. Chuck Whittle 4th. Evans, Rose, Dayton, Parker, Orsini and Borgio, your top 10 in Copper Shell. Then we've got Brian Waltersdorf, Lewis Flory and Michael Moyes down to 13th. Blake Rosser takes the win in Copper Shell Am. Is that double win for him as well? Yes, it is. So double win for Blake Rosser with the pole as well, and maybe the fastest laps. We might have a full collection here, a full house. Fabian Spurman to say P2, Tim Dwight P3, and heading down further down the order. Nicholas Hoult there, having made a few passes, was up behind Jeffrey Nürnberg, just 0.3 of a second in it. Hummel, Corley Mendoza, Roberts, Garrett Vartugin, Spossato down to P28 in this one. A packed field, Luis Peruskia, Bernard Gomez, Jeffrey Keel, John Lennon and Darren Bernstein. Good, clean drive, well done from all of them. Mike Chen unplugs his communications lead and heads across to his family who were there to greet him yesterday. They're going to be thinking, Daddy is a winner. Daddy's got it going on. I love it. I want a cheer squad at the Parc Ferme. That's great, isn't it? It's lovely.
Yeah, these are the good stories inside the Ferrari Challenge paddock. So, yeah, he had a perfect weekend.
Yeah, really good. I tell you what, it's nice for them as well to have a Parc Ferme that's, there's Gary Ott on the left, a Parc Ferme that's under some shade. You get out of that car and you want to cool off. There's Gary Ott, nicely done.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's nice.
Sorry that I hit you in turn one.
Oh, that's really cool. So Gary Ott goes up and says, I'm so sorry I hit you in turn one. He says, I had no idea. I had a little bump. And then he says, congratulations. What a cool guy. We're big fans of Gary this weekend, aren't we? I'm a big fan of Gary most weekends. But
where is Gary, there is action.
Yes. Here we go. Let's get down to Nina Jade. She's with Mike Chen.
Mike, double pole, double win, total domination. I said, how was it? You said it's hot. Talk us through that race.
Yeah, at the beginning, the grip is there. I get a very clean start. Managed to pull away from the guys in the back. And yeah, just from there, I just raced at my own pace, trying to save the tires. And yeah, that's all. And in the end, the tire did go away. And it's a very hard race at the end to drive on very low grip of tires. Yeah, so, but yeah, overall it's a good weekend.
I was having a chat with your family and they are so proud of you. You've got to dedicate this win to them.
Yes. Thanks for my family. Yeah, come here always to support me, so really grateful for their support.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job. Yeah, he's very pleased, and rightly so. Yesterday, I think he was a bit quieter in the winner's enclosure, and today, to have got it done both days, is capitalising entirely on the weekend.
Yeah, you do the first qualifying, you have the pressure of the race. You do the first day, you're still thinking about the day after. You still have some more racing to do, and this is where you have the total relief. Now the race weekend is done, and what a way for Chen to open his championship campaign. So he really showed that in Copachel he's the driver to beat this year, and just a very, very strong performance.
Fantastic stuff. Let's get back down to Nina Jade. Paul.
Well, I told you to get the win. You got pole snatched off you, just beaten in the 11th hour, but you got the win in the end. Talk us through that race.
Well, it was challenging because the track was definitely, in the beginning it was good, 5 laps in, but then he kept coming, and the team was giving me the gaps. I made a couple little errors and got a little sideways, but kept checking my mirrors and trying to keep the gap, and then kind of caught up to some of the guys in the other group, and there was slag everywhere. So then it was like, and I'm like, and then I get the low fuel light, and I'm thinking, how much more time? And they're like, you're good. So it was fun. It was a good race. I enjoy racing these guys. They're very clean at the start. So
yeah, it was good fun to watch. Your racecraft around here is so good as well. What is it you like about Thermal Club?
I don't know. Just it's turny. So I like to turn.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome.
That's the best quote of the weekend. Yeah. What do you like about Thermal Club? It's turny. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. My hero, Colin McRae, the rally driver, sat in along with us, once said, straights are for fast cars, corners are for fast drivers. And we got some fast drivers here today. Mike Chen with the double win look on 74 points, has a lead of 14 points. Whitler not tied on 60. Just behind them, Michael Owens, Brian Waltersdorf, Andrew Parker, Brad Evans and Joel Rose are your top 8 in the Shell category. Orsini, Flory, Dayton, Moyes, Borgio and Carroll down to P14. Let's have a look at the standings for Copachel Am as well. Blake Rosser with the double win look, but only a 7-point lead over Fabian Sperman. Melissa Kozira deservedly in P3 after a good weekend. Tim Dweet with a great result today. Steve Check as well. Nicholas Hoult, he's 6th in the standings. Love to see him again later on in the year, but he's super busy. Go on,
yeah, Tony. We need to show the standings to Nicholas. We want you for more race weekends.
Come back. I'm sure you've got a movie to film, but we've got some racing to do. Get yourself here. So yeah, great stuff. Blake Rosser leading the standings. Okay, stay with us because we'll be back very shortly indeed with the final race from here at Thermal Club for the first weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America, Pirelli and Pirelli Am. It will be a banger, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. We are getting ourselves ready for the final encounter of the weekend here at the Thermal Club in California for the opening weekend of the Ferrari Challenge North America. It's been fun so far. We had a bit of carnage yesterday. We've just had a super clean Copper Shell and Copper Shell Am race, and we're looking forward to the Pirelli and Pirelli Am race coming up next. Once we're done here in Thermal, it's just a few weeks' time until we go again in Sebring over in Florida, then COTA, Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas in May. In June, it's Laguna Seca back in California, then over the Golden Gate Bridge to Sonoma in July, Road America in September, and then the finale Mondiali at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya, as the Spanish would say. It's in Spain, if you were wondering. It's a great track. Formula One, of course, regular visitors there. It used to be the host for the winter testing as well. Tony Villander is alongside me. My name's Andrew Coley. Nina Jade Paul is reporting from down in the paddock. And Tony, this track has been challenging.
Yeah, it's a very technical track, smooth, a little bit of elevations through turns 10 to 13. A lot of hairpins. You need a good solid braking point, but a good acceleration out of the corners. You need to have a good run for the next straight ahead. In racing, you need to really study where and how to overtake. You need to have a clean side-by-side move. If you are a bit too late, you run into a contact. And yesterday, our Pirelli Am drivers were a bit bad boys of the weekend so far. So they need to step up their game and behave from checkered flag to the end.
Bad boys, what are you going to do?
From the start to the end,
yeah. I get it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Track temperature says 38. Tony Villander is from Finland, and he's been ice driving for a month in the dark, and he thinks it's hotter than 38, and I'm willing to take his word for it. But yeah, we know it's hard work. We've just heard the drivers from the previous encounter say, look, it's hard physically, and yes, the tyre deg is tough to deal with too. There's your winner from yesterday, Johnny Kaminsky. Can he do the double? We saw two drivers do the double in the previous race, and are we going to see the same this time? Nina Jade Paul's down on the grid.
Absolutely, yes, down on the grid, on a very, very hot grid. Interestingly, it was the Pirelli guys yesterday who had the most penalties, so let's see how they can behave today. Johnny, quick word, how are you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling ready, very excited.
Best of luck. How are you feeling about Manny and Prina? Not far from you.
Yeah, all good, just gonna run my race and take it corner by corner.
Best of luck. Who else can I bother? Let's have a look. We have Manny. Let's see. Is Manny up for a chat with us? Manny, it's very hot. I see you have the umbrella. How are you feeling?
Well, it's pretty warm here, but looking forward to the race, so feeling pretty good.
I mean, you're really experienced when it comes to racing. Do you reckon you can get Johnny for first?
I mean, it depends on how the first corner goes, because it's pretty difficult to pass here. So if there's a mistake made, then I'll take advantage of that. But if not, then it's about that tire life and managing those tires and try to get them at the end of the stint, or end of the race, actually. So
absolutely. Well, best of luck. We've not got long now to wait until we go green. Throwing it back up to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Nina Jade. I love the fact she said, let me see who else I can go and bother. But he didn't look too bothered, did he, Manny Franco? He's ready for it. He says it's going to be about managing tyres to the end of the race, and I believe him. He would know. He's a member here at the Thermal Club, and earlier on in the week, we had a catch-up with several of the members to find out their thoughts on this unique facility.
This is pretty special. I've been a member here about 4 years, and this is the first time, of course, Ferrari Challenge has been here, and I have 100 friends and guests coming to watch, so it's a really special day.
I have several daughters who ride horses, so when they go jump horses like 2 miles that way, I come out and drive cars around the track.
It's amazing to be here at the Thermal Club, private pavement. We've got a lot of friends and family coming out. This is my home track. It's as exciting as we can get. There's 100 Ferraris here, and there's action on every corner. It's going to be an amazing weekend.
Well, it's a tough track, and even us members don't have that big of an advantage, it feels, over their, our competitors that are guests this weekend.
I feel pretty good. There's some fast guys. I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to send it. It'll be tighter. Some of the tracks will be really tight.
I hope everybody can come out and watch this, and if not, on TV. Let's have a ball this weekend. Thanks, Ferrari. Thanks, Thermal.
Fantastic stuff. You can see why they all love racing here. It is an absolutely stunning venue. and it's a fitting place to kick off the season. So we've got one last race here. Mitchell Green, can he get it done today? He had a few problems yesterday. It's going to be a fantastic encounter in Pirelli and Pirelli Am. Let's go down to Nina Jade Paul.
We won't waste any time. So for the final time this weekend, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Good old Nina Jade, nicely done. Bothering the whole grid with her command to get the engine started. And we're looking forward to this. I'm hoping, Tony, for another clean encounter like we just saw with Copper Shell and Copper Shell Am. We know these guys are a bit quicker. So yes, they circulate faster, if you like. They're maybe more capable of making passes. They're also probably better at judging what they should and shouldn't do. Having said that, they were the bad boys yesterday, as you said.
This is true, but Nina had a good point after the Shell and Shell Am races. Drivers have done now one full racing day, so they know from yesterday the experience what they need to do at the start, what to expect. Drivers were probably a bit more nervous yesterday as it was a season opener. Today is more back to business, more back to normal, and I'm expecting a good solid race as well. If we get a clear run without safety cars, I think it's a good chance that we're going to have a beautiful race. If we get safety cars, those often bring even more safety cars. So when the whole group is back together, that's when the action starts. And exciting to see in Pirelli. Roberto Perina yesterday had a technical issue. Today he's in a spare car, Washington spare car. So he had a very strong pace in qualifying. And Perina normally at the race starts and breaking points into turn one, he's very aggressive. He knows the limits of his race car really well. So Johnny Kaminsky, as the pole sitter, he needs to be really careful and cover more Perina than Manny Franco, in my opinion. And then Mitchell Green, Jan Bernier, they are once again together there. They moved up to Pirelli Am, but their pace is very similar all the time. Mitchell Green needs to have a good solid start. Yesterday he had some contact in the opening corners, and I think his car was damaged a bit because his pace was not there. So he's looking for a good race as well in Pirelli Am.
Okay, let's get this show on the road. Final race of the weekend from the Thermal Club. Okay, here we go. It's the final race of the weekend from the Thermal Club for the first weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America. On the front row, Johnny Kaminsky and Roberto Perina. Perina had problems yesterday, was very quick today. Manny Franco and Brad Falvera on row 2. Franco also looking to make an impact maybe late in the race. George Grinzovich qualified better today. David Bitton didn't take part yesterday but was quick this morning. Brian Cook and Jonathan Weisman, row 4. Row 5 is Gray Falvera and Michael Mathes. Row 6, Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green. Coming up a category, remember, into Trofeo Pirelli Am, and Matthew Diel, Gregory Hopkins on row 7. Row 8, Michael Porter and Kevin Gutierrez. Row 9, Frank Chang and Martin Burrows. And finally, on row 10, Gerdas Venceslas and Esteban Beckman. Now, they were supposed to be starting from pit lane. So whether they'll run them back round and put them into pit lane, or whether they're just going to leave them at the back of the pack yesterday, they were a couple of the drivers who were given a penalty, as we said. What they did very cleverly this morning is they did a scrub lap, and that was it. They took out the pits, run the stickers off the tyres, and then go back in again. So their tyres are possibly 5 to 7 laps younger than the tyres of the people in front of them. However, they've got to get past.
Yeah, not an easy task to overtake here. You need to be really a lot faster on a single lap to overtake easily. And if you're in the rhythm of the other cars, it's very difficult to overtake. You always need to run the other driver into a mistake. Interesting driver, David Piton, 17 years old. His first Ferrari Challenge race weekend. Comes from karting, a lot of testing. With Ferrari Challenge car, he has good coaches, and very exciting for this young man.
It is indeed. So Grinzovich is the green and yellow, if you're wondering. Bitton is in the red. Row 2, the silver is, it's blue and white. Manny Franco. On the inside is Brad Falvera, the outside in turn 1. But this front row is what it's all about. Johnny Kaminsky, Roberto Perina. Kaminsky will hold the pack back. Perina's almost in front. He's going to have to check himself. And nicely done by Kaminsky, but it is going to be very, very close at the start. In the background, Cook looks up the inside. Kaminsky goes late on the brakes. Cook inside Grinzovic. Or down, little bit of contact, ends up spinning as well. Maybe a wing mirror gone. That's a shame because it looked like he was going to make up 2 positions, but instead he drops down 1. So Kaminsky from Pirelli side by side in the background, as well as Bitton tries to come around the outside, but there isn't enough room for him to get past Brad Favre in the middle. And now onto the second category, Pirelli Am. You've got Jan Bernier and Michael Mathes on the front row. Bernier going deep on the brakes. Mitchell Green staying out of trouble. Matthew Deal around the outside. Then Green looking to the inside on the exit. Might have got a better exit here than the cars in front of him have. Mathes under pressure from Mitchell Green, but Bernier going to take it down to turn 2. Jan Bernier gets in. Matthew Deal slots into P4. Mitchell Green P3. Tidy start. That's more like it.
Yeah, beautiful overtaking from Bernier. Outside turn 1, inside into turn 2. Mitchell Green moved before green flag. He moved from his lane at the start, but hopefully no further issues, no further action into that. Johnny Kaminsky, very good control until now, but you can see Perina, he has a lot of speed. He changed the car for today, technical issue yesterday. He has a lot of speed, only hundredths of a second between these two in qualifying this morning.
Now, interesting to see the 2 different lines here. Kaminsky flashing his lights. Look, Perina's giving him the full, we call that the touring car treatment in the UK. If you ever watch touring car racing, you'll know when they get there, they flash the lights. Same in endurance racing. It's another distraction tactic. He looks inside.
Oh, it's close.
He is, but the pass isn't on at the minute, isn't it? And you're using your tyres quite hard here. I feel like Kaminsky's being really mature here.
Yeah, but Perina knows that this is his moment. If we go to the rhythm, look at the dust coming out from the side of the track. And this is a different dust, though.
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of
on the racing line.
That is a nightmare. Gutierrez is dumping the gravel trap all the way around the track.
Oh, now the teams need to be on the radio. Be careful, because when Kaminsky and the guys are hitting those racing lines with all the dust on track.
Where was he? Was it the end of the straight? I'm trying to think.
Mid-lap somewhere. Let's see.
That's a lot of dust, isn't it? That is okay. Keep your eyes peeled. You'll see it because
this is up to the teams now, telling to the drivers, be aware that there is dust. The track might be way more slippery than you had on a previous lap.
Let's have a look at what happened. So this is onto the back straight, I think.
They touch
side by side. So it's him and Chang. Oh wow! Now I know why the gravel took so long to come out. He's lucky to get the car out.
It's towards the end of the lap, I think. Let's see when the leader's gonna hit that place.
Hopefully he's dumped the gravel at least on the straight. Yeah, the gravel, but the dust will still make a difference, and it will stick to these hot race tyres.
Yeah, let's see now.
So Kaminsky with a gap of 0.5 at the end of that lap. They're not round to the dirty part of the track just yet. Look at the difference. Kaminsky and Perina have driven away from Franco. Favre, pass, Bitton inside on Grinzovic. Good job.
Look at the dust.
Grinzovic, though, must have got him somewhere else, because I was sure he was ahead of him. But the dust is bad, isn't it? Really bad. Can't see anybody sliding around too much, and it will clear over the next couple of laps, but that's a bit of a nightmare, to be honest.
It's like the filler when you have oil on track.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so nobody's fallen foul of it so far, but the cars are running a little bit wide here, wider than they would normally. That won't take too long to clear, will it?
1 lap, 2 laps, all the cars, when they go through, you have a clear racing line.
Bitton's pushing hard, late on the brakes, and you hear the turbo wastegate as he lifts off the throttle. That's a noise that you hear.
Short shifting.
Yeah, nice.
Good boy. Good man.
So but he is a boy, isn't he? Nearly 17. And he was lovely. I met him at lunchtime for the first time. Obviously, you were coaching him back when he was in go-karts.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Lovely for you, isn't it, to see
2 years
this?
ago, I'm Mont-Tremblant. I flew from Finland, and we worked for a couple of days on go-karts, but still you could see the talent, and he's really on it.
Do you like it when you see that? Like, when you know you've coached them when they're younger? I know he's done stuff on his own since, but it must be a nice feeling.
No, it's nice. Also at Casa Ferrari, when he saw me, he came straight to say hi. Hey, coach.
Hey,
exactly. Coach, how are you? So it's good.
Yeah.
You know.
Great stuff.
I'm almost a senior citizen, so when the young drivers come and say hi, it's beautiful.
So everybody in Pirelli doing their fast lap on that last one, because of course it was lap 2. At the minute is Kaminsky with the fast lap. He is 0.9 ahead of Perina. Here's Bernier with a bit of pressure behind from Mathes. Where's Mitchell Green?
Track position. Bernier was able to take the lead, and now this is the fight for the lead. And I think he studied the move for the race start. Outside 1, keep the pace and inside into 2.
We said that, didn't we? And in terms of track design, I'd love to do some track design. Sometimes I'm like, why have you done that? And then other times you're, okay, great idea. Like I quite like a tightening hairpin, like at Shanghai, where people run wide and you get inside.
Yeah.
But I love.
But I have an issue. I think my
creative.
creative side, it works only from midnight to 4 or 5 a.m.
Well,
so.
that's okay. But we'll have a couple of beers
Yeah,
and design some circuits.
Exactly.
I know you helped design the ice tracks for the Ferrari ice driving up in
Why does track
Lapland.
have 7 bridges? I don't understand.
It's like the boys got a bit too excited.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. You see the dust on the screens, actually, can't you? So Bernier down the
Bernier
end of the straight.
was having a great race yesterday, and then I think actually these 2 drivers
They
touched.
both got taken out.
Exactly. So then this is sort of their revenge. They want to end up the weekend on a high note. Bernier normally is the Mr. Consistency. Even last year, the fight between him and Mitchell Green was all the way to the last race, last start of the season. So Bernier knows really how to be fast and consistent in a 296 challenge car.
So I'm just looking at lap times, and Mitchell Green's a 2:03.4, 2:03.0 for Bernier. Has anyone done a 2:02? Yeah, 2:02.3 for Mathez. So Mathez, who is now piling the pressure onto Bernier, did that on the last lap actually. So he took 7/10 off Bernier on the last lap. The gap is 0.7 between them, and then it's another 2.2 back to Mitchell Green. Mitchell Green could do with them having a bit of a tear up, so he can close the gap down to them. There's a lot of dust in the background again. So there's a lot of dust in the sequence of corners, which is coming up next for these drivers. Somebody has been off there, and Esteban Beckman, who started on sticker tyres, remember, because he didn't do qualifying this morning, has now banged in the fastest lap in this category, the 2:02.0.
And behind Mitchell Green, there's a group of cars now all together, so there will be a lot of fighting behind. And Manny has caught Perina, P2 and P3
Yeah, he has.
closing.
Well, that's good for Kaminsky, because obviously now Perina has to play defense instead of offense, trying to...
You mentioned Perina was pushing really hard
It
on the
was.
opening lap, so maybe overheating his tires and taking too much. And Manny said, even Nina Jade's interview, that you need to really balance your speed and think about those race tires towards the end of
what
the
was
race.
most impressed with Kaminsky there was the cool-headedness. So when someone shows themselves on the inside, you go, hang on a minute, I need to block. He didn't block once.
Yeah.
He stuck to his racing line the whole time, kept the tyres, under the least amount of pressure he could, and held the position. And I think that's another sign of a little bit of maturity here. Bearing in mind he is only 17. There's the dust again. People are really hooking the inside. Matthew DL, they're dropping a right, aren't they? In they must have taken a book out of the rally drivers handbook.
Happens also even with F1 drivers. If you get just too confident with the racetrack and you don't pay attention to a single detail where you drop the wheel, it may bite you back. So these drivers also being our fastest drivers of the weekend, but they still need to be really careful where and how much to use the racetrack.
Great, isn't it? Fantastic. I love seeing them not take extra risk, but get there again, right hand side and having a look. So Beckman is up to 6th, I think we said. Is he up to 6th place? He is up to 6th place. So Esteban Beckman is making some serious hay here. But this is the battle for the lead. Bernier versus Mathez. Beckman is some 40 seconds off the leaders. So greatest respect, he's never going to get there. But I think he could pick off another few people. Sorry, no, he's not. He's only 9 seconds off. Yeah, he's 40 off the leader, Pirelli.
Yes.
So actually, yeah, Beckman then could be a threat
He's in
here.
the mix, but he would need a safety car. We don't want a safety car, but for his race, he would need a safety car.
No safety cars. Thank you very much for having a great time. Just
I didn't even
circulating.
mention it.
Yeah, I did. Thinking there, commentator's curse. Touch wood. That's it. We're touching wood. There we go. There is actually some in the commentary box here. We've got very nice ones. Here we go. Beckman through again. So Beckman gets Hopkins. So now, wow. Okay. So don't forget how many laps has he got, Tony, before the tyres are in the same condition as the others? Probably. I mean, obviously he's always going to be 5 laps ahead. But I think at the midpoint in the race, that advantage might be gone.
But I don't really think that he's thinking about the tires. It's all about the mindset. He wants to eat every car ahead of him.
Yeah.
He wants to just close that gap, and I think he's in a different mode than many of the other drivers.
You can see there's only a straight length in between them. Bridging the gap between Mitchell Green and Mathez would be the toughest point.
And he's very faster than most of the drivers ahead of him, and he's even overtaking cars every lap.
So if he's doing 2:02.8, what's Bernier done? 2:03.1. Bernier and Matthes are still only
He can
3
finish
tenths. Oh,
P3.
spin! Who's
Oh,
that?
in the S's.
It's Gutierrez.
No,
Gutierrez,
don't parking there.
No, go wide. No, don't stop there.
No,
you have
he
to go
can
out
come
to the not deep part on the outside. Who is it? It's 10? Weisman. It's Weisman. Sorry, wrong number we had in the car. So it's Weisman, not Gutierrez. How bad we were looking from a distance through the dust cloud.
Yeah, he was P7 in Pirelli before the spin.
So if you end up, now we're getting lap traffic already. Or was he in? No, he's in the category ahead. Sorry, my bad. He's in the Pirelli category. So the gap is some 20-30 seconds between the two categories at the start, and that's been eaten up with that mistake. So there is Weisman. Oh, mistake by Bernier. Bernier runs a little bit deep. He's getting pressure now from Matthes. It might be that the tyres are going off a bit, and Matthes is right there with him.
Yeah, Matthes has more pace. He can follow Bernier so closely. He's been there for many laps now, so he's just putting pressure and wants to see if there's a mistake on Bernier's side, and he can use that for his overtaking.
So good pressure here, but in the background, look in the background and you'll see that there is pressure coming from Beckman on Matthew DL. He was 0.4 behind.
I think Mitchell Green needs to be careful with
So do I.
Beckman.
So good battle out front, but we're looking at Beckman with that fastest lap was 0.4 behind DL. Where is he now? He's still behind him, so he's not made it work. And now look, Bernier's managed to get just a little gap on Matthes. It's not a lot.
Oh, Mitchell.
Oh,
Beckman!
the dirt! Beckman going rally crossing in the background. He'll have lost some time there. The visibility is terrible coming onto the straight. You see the drivers moving away from it. That's where we need the breeze. The breeze is gone because the breeze will clear that straight away. Side by side.
Manny and Perina.
So Manny Franco has the inside line on Perina for the braking zone here, but if Perina can man it up around the outside, he'll get the inside for the right-hander. So Manny Franco trying to go the long way round through the final corner. Who's going to get this Franco off the track on the outside line? Could get a better exit here. Manny Franco looking for a good exit speed through 17. Not going to get it done. He's going to have another chance down at the end of the straight. He will look to the inside here. I don't think he's going to be quite serious enough because Perina's really got on the brakes. Jinx back out to give himself the right exit line.
Yeah, good fight between these two professional drivers. So very, very close battle. They were side by side already for a long time. And good respect. Perina is not an easy driver to be overtaken, so Manny needs to study his move really well.
You rarely hear Finns get excited, but Tony Villander is definitely getting excited about this one. So am I. Look, there's damaged pieces of cars there.
You see a mistake from Manny. As I told you, following another car through these S's is not easy.
No.
He dropped the wheel inside of the inside curb, so you need to be careful there. And also at the high-speed S's between 10 and 13, you need to be really careful. When you're following that other car, the mistake can happen very easily.
You can see the dirt again on the side of the track. Bernier still holding off Matthes, but not. Maybe Matthes is waiting. There's a bit of me that thinks if you just keep the pressure on, wait for the tyres to go off a bit more. We're coming up to the halfway point. We know that's when the deg is really bad. Oh, Matthes is late on the brakes, has to avoid, locks the front left. So I said he's waiting. Just as I said that, did well to avoid Bernier. Really did well to avoid Bernier. There's that dust that's on from the sideways moment earlier on of Beckman. Oh, and that's the 97 off. Gray Falva, we think. So Falva off in the T car. You saw he had a T on the number on the side of the car. That means it's the spare car. There's dirt over the track here as well. So drivers have been off everywhere. Look at this. Completely different. So yesterday we didn't see any of this. Oh, okay. We did when they got stuck in the gravel trap at the end. Bernier is under massive pressure here, but we have seen a mistake from Matthes just recently through the quick section. Now this will be very hard to stay in touch through here. Over to the right, they're using all the curb and maybe a bit of the dirt on the inside as well. Matthes keeping it sensible, drops back just a little bit. Now he comes out wide.
Yeah, Bernier needs to cover the inside line in many of the hairpins. And I think Bernier's car has a little bit more oversteer. He's struggling with the support on the rear tires, so Matthes can follow him very closely, and the areas where you need a lot of confidence He's the strong boy. Now Manny is inside. This is the fight for P2 in Pirelli.
Great stuff between them. Just looking further down the leaderboard, and Beckman's charge has been halted by Matthew DL, or certainly was on the previous lap. He may have passed him on this one, but he was passing people left, right and centre. Look at this, Franco's piling the pressure on.
Manny Franco has a way more pace than he had yesterday in the race, because actually these two fighting, Johnny is still in a reasonable distance.
Yes.
So Manny, if he would have cleared Perina earlier, there might have been a fight for race lead.
It was interesting, wasn't it, as you said, because initially Perina went with Kaminsky.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was so much battling going on. We had a look at the Am. He runs a bit deep again. Yeah. Gutierrez has just done his fastest lap down in P19, so that may be... inside! So Bernier and Matthes. Matthes gets it done.
Little
bit of
tap.
opposite lock. Yeah, a little tiny love tap in there as well. And Bernier will try and respond immediately. Ducks underneath the rear wing. Stay behind. Make the most of that slipstream and go late. Bernier comes out to the outside line. He's going to go deep on the brakes here. He'll look for a better exit. After this one, there's a right-hander. He won't get it done there, but he won't be happy about that.
Yeah, I think Matthes now, when he's able...
and Franco through as well. So 2 passes. Manny Franco up the inside then, and gets the pass done on Roberto Perina. Now Perina needs to respond. Halfway point, this is when we thought it would happen.
Yeah, good drive from Manny Franco. Let's see now the pace. Johnny needs to know straight away that there's been a change in P2, and most likely Manny Franco has more pace. Let's see the replay. Whoa, brave move inside. Very nice. Little touch maybe here. No, I don't think there was a touch.
Really good.
Yeah,
really
that was a
really
nice move.
Wonder if we can see the other move as well in a minute, where we think there was contact. Where it was Bernier and Matthes. I'd love to see that again too.
But look how much more.
Gapped him big time.
Yeah, so, but you could see when he was following Bernier, he just had way more grip from his tires, and the overall balance was better, and he can really attack still at this stage of the race.
Yeah, good job. So Michael Matthes now leads Pirelli Am from Jan Bernier. Mitchell Green is in P3, but he's 5.4 seconds back from Bernier. Let's have a look at the Matthes pass on Bernier again. Here it is. He's late.
He was far away. Not a big touch, but he was quite far away. But I think Bernier is struggling a little bit with his tires, so the entry speed, the speed he can carry into the hairpin was slower than Matthes. So this was the difference.
That's a spin for somebody. There's a lot of tire noise. Someone's gone off at high speed somewhere. We heard a lot of tire noise in the background. There it is. It's Beckman. Esteban Beckman's gone round from P6 in Pirelli Am, but he gets away, and that's what we want. We just don't want any yellow flags.
He had the pace in the beginning of the race, but like you said, he probably used too much of his new fresh set of tires, and maybe using too much in wrong places. He should have just step by step closed the gap, and maybe overdriving and trying a bit too much.
So he was at the back and had made up, so he'd come from P11 in Pirelli Am, and we've got more passing going on inside. So number 14 who's being passed is Hopkins. It's Chang who's gone through, and Porter as well. Porter in the white car, Chang in the gold car. I was looking where he'd been, so Beckman was right down in P11 in the class, got himself up into P5 in the class, and he's now back behind Venceslas, because I saw Venceslas in front of him. So unfortunately all the work is undone, but I get it.
And also the performance and the lap time he had is very good in his class. He has the fastest lap of the race so far, so a bit too much. Maybe he got a little bit frustrated. He wasn't able to keep the same rhythm compared to the others.
Manny Franco, look at the top of the timing screen. Gap's down to 1.7. He said it to Nina Jade. So remember, he's a member here. Yeah, I was going to say, what does he know that Johnny doesn't? But it's just those little bits of input maybe that he's not making, and he's managed to save a bit of tyres.
Yeah, today his car looks completely different than yesterday. He was struggling with the balance. And yesterday I did mention that it was a little bit less than I was expecting from Manny Franco, but now the performance is really strong, and look at the way he's closing on Johnny. So Johnny is in trouble with his tires, and Manny, for some reason, today is on another planet. This will be a tight fight for the race win.
Yeah, with 10 minutes still to go, this is by no means over. 10 minutes is 5 laps, including the checker flag lap.
Oh, look how much grip Manny has. He's completely inside. He's using all the blue color inside that long left-hander and really showing that he has a lot of grip, even when he was fighting with Perina.
Kamiński using a lot of curb there, maybe a bit too much. Franco not using quite so much behind him. What is this, Tony? Look, Franco's there. So is this about track knowledge? You bearing in mind he's using the blue paint, or is it settings and tyres as well?
I think it's the track knowledge, but track knowledge meaning that he could guide his team from yesterday what to do differently.
Yes.
He was saying clear indications. I have this and this issues. If you fix this, I give you another result.
Look at the closing speed again, mid-corner. He's got absolutely massive closing speed here. Kamiński will have his championship head on. Remember, Franco didn't do the whole season last year. Manny Franco surely going to make a move at the end of the start. Finish straight here. Jinx to the inside and thinks better of it. Kamiński is late on the brakes, but he'll know that he's there.
Oh, he has so good rotation and also the traction coming out of the corners. So Johnny's in trouble. I mean, you need to be brave to defend for another 9 minutes. With the speed difference, Manny was closing in.
I'm keen for it, but closing and passing are two different things, aren't they? Kamiński sticks to his line. And
yeah, the thing that Johnny can try to do is defend and kill Manny Franco's tire life.
That's what I was thinking, is at what point does Franco's tyres match up, for want of a better phrase, to Kamiński's tyres? Yeah,
exactly.
They're probably very similar in terms of where he goes out deep and he'll look to come back in tight, but again, there isn't an opportunity there. He could
close.
not be closer. And that screen in the middle of Kamiński's car will be lit up now with a big picture of Manny Franco. He flashes the lights as well. Not quite close enough, though, to get it done. And he couldn't be closer than that.
But this is a good lesson as well. The experience of Manny Franco now is inside.
Yeah. Look at the lines he's able to take. Kamiński through this right-hander again. So he's held on for a lap. Now he runs out wide. Look, he'll look for more speed through here again.
Look how tight he can be.
Yeah.
Whoa, Alpha car.
Look. Oh, he's almost on the gravel on the inside line. Manny Franco looking to pass Kamiński here. But Kamiński holds on again. There is nothing in this.
If he can stay close in the S's, then it's the 14 that can open a chance here. The next one.
Look how tight he is. Look how he's having a good think about this. He's having a good think about this. He's looking at the straight. But at the end of this straight, there isn't enough of a corner, is there, to make a move? I mean, let's look at looking at the track map. If you haven't done it by 14, you're not going to get it done in 15, 16, are you? Well, I think it would be unusual to do it through here.
Oh, he's so tight. Alpha car length everywhere. Manny Franco is more tight, using a tighter line.
Maybe in turn one again. He had a look last time and thought better of it. He does the same again. I think he's just trying to outpsych Johnny a little bit here. He may even be practicing to see, is it on? Can I do it there? Needs to be a kind of a block pass if he can. What's the gap behind them? 5.8 to Perina. Falvra is only 0.3.
I think Manny is starting to struggle with his tyres a bit.
I was just thinking, is it going not the other way, but is it going to become more equal? Brad Falvra, he's only 0.3 behind Roberto Perina for the final spot on the podium as well, so it's still going off. Great racing here for Ferrari Challenge North America. What a brilliant weekend to open the series with. 6 minutes 40 remaining. He had 10 minutes to hold off. It's a bit more now. This is very close. This would be a good spot to have a crack at it. The track is wide and you can maybe block past, go deep on the brakes at the end, but Kamiński will be very, very late. He is. It's a bumpy braking zone 2. He's riding the curb big time on the inside. Now he's inside Kamiński. Side by side, Kamiński has the right-hander, trying to go the long way round here. This would be an epic pass if he gets it done. Manny Franco, the whole way around the outside here, and he gets it to the inside line through the carousels. Went long way round and got to the inside. That is a brilliant piece of racecraft.
Wow, that's the overtaking of the weekend. Like, whoa, what a confidence and great racing between these two drivers. And I think Manny has so much speed right now that he can really pull away. It's not a lot about the high-speed corners, but it's the rotation in these areas, the slow-speed corners, how tight Manny can be, and how early he can open the throttle. It's just a different story.
I was amazed how hard he could hold on around the outside line, to be not dirty track, but it's not the cleanest part, and still able to keep the speed up through the middle part of the corner. Brilliant. I would not have said that was on, would you? Through 8 and 9? No way.
No way.
He teed it up in 7, didn't he, by being over the curbs on the inside of 7, then the whole way around the outside of 8 to be inside for 9. So Wow. Now, can he gap Kaminsky or not?
Manny has a lot of rotation on his car and good traction, so he has a reactive race car and he can be really tight without losing the rear. So that has been the key. And let's see even now 2 and 3, how much minimum speed he can carry into the corner. And Johnny is struggling a bit more to follow the same speed, the same rhythm that Manny Franco has.
Pirelli and Favre having a fight here for P3.
Pirelli has really gone backwards.
Yeah, he's flying at the start, hasn't he? But the gap now is 5.6 between him and Kaminsky, who's now P2. Favre, he's there with him. I'm sure Brad would love a spot on the podium to finish the weekend. 4 minutes 30 remaining, so 3 laps max and more just up at the end of the straight.
But it's a lot about the balance of the car at this stage, because they're lapping 4 seconds slower than in the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
So the balance in those 4 seconds, it changes a lot.
This is the other thing which really interests me is, as the tyres go off, we know the car gets a bit loose traditionally if you're on, say, your peak lap time setting. In theory, you could dial the car in at the start of the race, so maybe this is along the lines of what Franco has done. So it won't be perfect for the first 5 or 6 laps, but when the tyres go off, you've got a better balance.
Yeah, you may lose a tenth, but later on you gain 8
half a
tenths a lap.
second. Yeah, when the car gets loose.
Exactly.
Getting it dialed in. Love it, love the tactics. Trouble is now I want to drag an engineer in here and go, right, I want to see the onboards, I want to see the data, let's see what you've been up to. They wouldn't tell us,
Yeah,
of course.
it's like when we go skiing, we just like the after ski. It's better that we get in trouble if we start engineering the race cars.
You're right.
It's good that we predict being professional, but then let's leave it to the real people.
The real professionals.
Yes.
We'll just go to the bar and have a talk. No way! Somebody's off. Who is it? White and blue wing. Is it? I was worried for a second it might have been Pirelli, but who were we looking at? We were looking at Pirelli and Favre.
White collar.
We think maybe Weissman. I saw white and blue on it, but then no, we were looking at the battle with Pirelli and Favre, so no, it's not. It's Weissman. So Weissman is off, and unfortunately, he is off in the same place we saw John Lennon go off yesterday. That is deep gravel, and I'm almost certain we're going to see a full course yellow, which will mean that this race will be status quo. So if you want to make a move, you're going to need to make it before you get to the start-finish line. Yeah, you see why I thought, because the white and the blue on the back of the car, and then I was like, hang on a minute, you were looking at it, you bump it. It wasn't him that dropped it. Here's a replay. So comes through. It's a carbon copy of Lennon's shunt from yesterday.
Yeah, he just loses the rear in the last part of the corner, and then he's just not enough grip, and then can't catch the car anymore, and then stops in the gravel trap. It is in the dangerous position, but it's up to the race director to decide how big of an issue they see it. It's 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're only going to go past it once more, aren't they? I'd have the checker out now. Well, the checker will be out now.
Yeah, local yellow,
white flag. Yeah, local yellow would be a good call, I think. It's a long way off. Having said that, when you know the shunt happened there yesterday as well, could it happen again today? Waved yellow. Okay, good decision. So that's cool. I hope it's on the way into the corner as well. The other question is whether the driver is out of the car. So for me, if I was in the car, it's so tricky because you want enough time to get... Oh, Beckman's off too. So Esteban Beckman, who had such a great start to this race, unfortunately, with the penalty from yesterday, had to start from pit lane, had sticker tyres on, and was killing it, and then has had 2 spins and has dropped down the order. But it was a good show for us.
Yeah, Beckman had a good first half of the race.
Favre inside here, sorry to interrupt Tony. Sideways on the X-skit there for Pirelli with a bit of wheel spin. Favre with the inside line. I think Pirina's back in front he is. So Pirelli on the brakes, and now there's surely only going to be... Will we see white flag on this? White flag is out, so there'll be 1 more lap to go, and that's if they don't go full course yellow. I think if they were Ganu, they would have done by now.
Yeah, white flag. There's even the car in P5 that is really closing on.
Yes, Grinzovic. So Grinzovic is getting in the mix here. Grinzovic is absolutely flying. So George Grinzovic has come up because these two are messing about with each other. They're going to have a mirror full of green and yellow in a minute and need to do something about it. Favre to the inside line. Late on the brakes. Pirelli will have seen him. Surely Pirelli goes deep. Favre can't quite get there. Pirelli just came off the brake pedal and let the car run into the corner, and Grinzovic is there with them. 3-way fight now, and remember this is for the final spot on the podium here at Thermal. Perina hanging on for dear life from Favre and now Grinzovic. Grinzovic with a bit of sideways out the corner as well. How far back is Grey Favre? Is that Grey Favre behind them as well? 2.6, he was back. So yeah, these two are holding each other up. Out front at the end of the straight, you see Manny Franco has gapped Kaminsky by 2.1. We're on the final lap here. We're watching this brilliant fight. I'm sure we'll see the leaders over the line, but I'm kind of keen to see these guys as well. We said, didn't we, if it's not done by turn 14, it's probably not going to happen. So holding on here, Perina, can he hang on through this sequence of corners down to the hairpin? Favre needs to have a look up the inside, likewise with Grinzovic. Grinzovic is a member here, Favre are too, so they will know this place like the back of their hand. Just got one last chance to do it. These are the long carousel corners. Oh, Perina's tyres are dead. The car went sideways in the middle of the corner. Tony been talking about having support in the long corners all weekend, and it is gone. So Perina's hanging on in there, he really is. Down towards, this will be where the move is. If it doesn't get done here, it's not getting done. Perina goes defensive. Favre can't find a way up the inside this time round. I think he'll hold on. And that is going to mean that Manny Franco out front is going to be coming through for a lovely win. Here he is through the final corner. Manny Franco with a brilliant pass around the outside of Kaminsky in the middle of this one. Franco takes the win. It's a great weekend for Kaminsky with a win yesterday and a P2 today. What a start to Heats Championship. But the fight continues for P3. Perina, whose tyres are absolutely gone, just hangs on. Grinzovic in the wall in the final corner. Grinzovic drops it. Perina gets P3. No point in the full course yellow now, just need a yellow flag on the way into that. We're looking for Mathez and Bernier. Here is Mathez. So Mathez is significantly in front of Bernier, looking at the timing screen. Yeah, he's way up the road. He's gapped him by 9 seconds. So good drive by Michael Mathez. Comes through. Yesterday was denied after the carnage in his race. Mathez comes through and takes the position. Job done for him. Brilliant drive, I think, to get away as he did. In the background, here comes Jan Bernier. Jan Bernier again had a shocker yesterday, but today gets it done. Third place at the minute. It's, okay, so it's Matthew DL. So Mitchell Green has dropped down at some point. Matthew DL has come through, and DL gets third place here. Fantastic. His wife and his kids are here with him this weekend, and I'm sure he'll be over the moon with that result. Grinzovic dropping down the leaderboard on here. Does that mean he didn't cross the timing line then? So Grinzovic dropped it before the timing line. So he was up for finishing P5, and as you can see, he's dropped to 17th now. So the transponder has to cross the loop where the checkered flag is, and it didn't. So Matthew DL, P3, Trofeo Pirelli Am. That was a great race. We were lucky not to get a full course yellow, I think, with where the incidents happened. A lot of dust on the track. Manny Franco with an amazing pass. That's the race of the weekend for me.
Yeah, I think Manny Franco showed to the others a good lesson of how you need to understand your race car, what happens in 30 minutes of racing, how to set up your race car, and he was just in a different level from mid-race to the end. And great car control. You can see the IMSA experience on his driving. He was studying the right places where to overtake Perina or where to overtake Kaminsky. And just great lesson from Manny Franco. I think Johnny Kaminsky is showing a great improvement overall, how he handles the whole weekend, but still final details. If you have mid to the end of the stint, a lot of understeer or oversteer, you need to fix these issues. You need to have a good, solid race car for 30 minutes. And yesterday, Pirelli Am didn't have a green flag race.
Yeah, that didn't occur to me. So they hadn't got the 30-minute data, had they? And maybe again, that's where being a member here and doing a few more laps like Franco has, maybe he's gone, look, I know what's going to happen here, and we need to do this. But I do wonder if it's as we discussed in the race, if it's about dialing the car in for the end of the race, not the start.
Yeah, you need to have good 4 tires underneath your race car from minute 15 to minute 30.
Great stuff. What a brilliant race. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. It's a decent way to finish the weekend. Those cars will be coming back now to Parc Fermé. We'll get the podiums done as well. Nina Jade will have a chat with some of our drivers. Results then for Trofeo Pirelli. Manny Franco taking the win after a fantastic pass on Kaminsky, who, as we already said, has had a brilliant weekend here. Roberto Perina hung on by 0.4 of a second from Brad Favre, and he did have Grinzovic there as well, but Grinzovic dropped it at the line, and that gave Grey Favre and David Bitton 5th and 6th. Michael Mathez with the win in Pirelli Am, followed by Jan Bernier. Matthew DL, then Porter, Hopkins, Burrows, Venslaras, who had to start from the pit lane, remember. Chang and Mitchell Green's dropped right down the order, so something has happened to Mitchell at the end of the race because he was in third place. He had a better result. He had P3 yesterday. Gutierrez in 16th, Cook, Grinzevich, Weisman and Esteban Beckman in the end of DNF, having climbed up some 8 places early in the race. 2 spins dropped him down to the back. Mitchell Green had a spin, we're hearing. So Mitchell Green had a spin, and that's what caused him to lose that time. Manny Franco, very happy indeed, and rightly so. Cool, understated crash helmet, I like that. Job well done. Okay, Nina Jade Paul's down there in Parc Ferme with our winner.
Manny Franco, race winner, congratulations. Your move on Johnny Kaminsky, Tony Van Allen called it the overtake of the weekend. It was insane. You even gathered a few applauses from other garages. I won't say who. Talk us through that race.
It was a tough one for sure. Like, there was a lot of debris on track. They have a lot of chaos out there that you kind of have to avoid in there. So I know chicane, there was a couple of pieces of debris, and in my mind I'm telling myself to kind of try to avoid them and whatnot, but the race was great. It was tough, of course, like physically with the heat, but I'm super excited to have been able to pull off the 2 maneuvers, and it's a great weekend if you come out on top. So
You were flying out there. What does it mean to win here at the Thermal Club?
It means a lot. Like, honestly, being back in Ferrari Challenge, it's a great experience. I started here 5 years ago or something like that. But no, it's great to come back and have fun, talk with the guys, and it means a lot just to be here in Thermal Club and the environment. So it's a great win.
Congratulations. Have a good celebration.
Yeah, thank you.
He's really pleased, isn't he? And rightly so. So he had to fight for that one, and he did it really cleanly.
No, that's fine. That's like we'll do whatever, but it was a good attempt. I think
Yeah, Mattes and Bernier talking there how the race went.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
No worries, no worries. You overtook me, but no worries.
Absolutely.
It's cool, isn't it? I know they do it in F1, don't they? Listen to the drivers. We've been doing it for ages. You just send the camera down there, and of course they don't really know that whether we're filming at that moment or not. But yeah, great to see. Nina Jade's got Michael Mattes as well.
2 poles and 1 win. Good weekend.
It was a great weekend. Really enjoyed the racing. I mean, what a great place to race at too. This is my home track, so I had to show well for the home team as well.
Your move on Jan Bernier was pretty epic. A few complaints from Ferrari of Seattle. What do you make of the move?
Well, sure, there's always going to be some complaint, but listen, I think I had the pace on Jan, and there was a little bit of an opening on the inside there, and I got inside him and left a lot of room outside. There's plenty of room out there as well, so I think it was a good race between the two of us for quite a few laps. I'm sure it was entertaining. It was fun for me. Sounds like it was fun for him too when he talked to me after the race.
Incredibly entertaining. Great race.
Great, thank you.
I love that. The teams might be like, oh, but the drivers are like, nah, it was great.
Yeah, it was
really
good fight. I think the drivers didn't go over the limit, so
No.
I think today was better racing.
So do I.
Yeah, so it was good.
Johnny Kaminsky then leads the standings by only 4 points now from Manny Franco after Franco taking the win today. Strong start by both, who though will be there for the whole season. Brad Favre and Roberto Perina both up there looking the 50s on points. Brian Cook too. Gray Favre and George Grinzevich unfortunately dropping it on the final corner. Weisman as well, and then Bitton and Kyle Washington rounding out our top 10 for Trofeo Pirelli. Let's have a look at the Trofeo Pirelli AM standings as well, shall we? Michael Mattes with the lead, but only by 3 points from Frank Chang and Matthew Diel. Then Bernier, Gutierrez, Mitchell Green still there, and well, Gregory Hopkins. I think what's important here is to look, we've got, 8 drivers within 9 points after the first weekend. So although quite a few people have had a bit of a roller coaster, it's very tight between the front drivers in that category. I think Pirelli AM is going to be really good this year.
Yeah, this looks to be the category to follow because there's a lot of drivers that can have a good weekend, and again from the points in Pirelli AM you can clearly spot that consistency in the championship. If you have a bad weekend, just concentrate on the next one, get back to your rhythm and do a good weekend, and you're back in the points hunt and championship hunt. So this is the story also for Ferrari Challenge Championship.
Yeah, Matthew Diel there with his kids in Parc Ferme. He was all smiles this morning at breakfast, and I think it'll be smiling even harder tonight at a great result here with P3. Nice to be able to take his kids into Parc Fermé. You don't get to do that every race weekend, do you? And they're here with him this weekend. Of course, the kids aren't always there with the drivers. Depends what they're up to. Grinzovic's car has just come past our announcing booth with the battle scars down the side of having hit the tyre wall. The tyre wall will have limited the damage, thankfully, but it was still a fair old off in that final corner.
Yeah, but I would say Manny Franco's drive was a good example of the experience he's gathered in racing the Ferrari GT3 car, and he could really adapt well to difficult conditions and outpace with his driving, but also the knowledge. Like I said, he understood with these race cars something that the others didn't for today's race.
Great stuff. We hope you guys have all enjoyed Ferrari Challenge North America's kickoff for 2026. We will be bringing the podiums, but after a short gap while they get the drivers all dried off and get the trophies ready to go. So I'll take this opportunity to say thank you very much to Nina Jade Paul, reporting from the pits, Tony Verlander, you legend, here in the commentary box with me. My name's Andrew Coley, and also big thanks to the whole of the team in the TV truck. Yes, Tony.
And the action here from Thermal, but let's think about Sebring.
Yes.
Ooh la la, Sebring, bring it on.
Excited already for it. We will all be back to bring you the action from there. So yeah, thank you to everyone behind the coverage for bringing it to you guys at home and in hospitality here as well at the Thermal Club. We're going to take a short layback, as we call it, or a break as it's more commonly known, and we'll be back with the podium celebrations very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for the first round of Ferrari Challenge North America at the Thermal Club. Delighted to have you all along, as always, and we're ready to get started and bring out our first podium. Let's begin with the presentation for the winners of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli class. Please welcome, in third place, Roberto Perina. In second place, Johnny Kaminsky. And your winner today, Manny Franco. Let's now please remove our hats for the winner's national anthem. Please welcome to the stage Eduardo Rossi, Ferrari North America, to present the trophies to our winners. Roberto Perina taking third, had to battle for it at the end of that race under a lot of pressure. Nicely done. Johnny Kaminsky led until the midpoint of the race. Brilliant weekend for him to start his championship fight off. And a great pass by Manny Franco to take the win. We'd also like to invite Lydia Mariani, Pirelli Commercial Manager Motorsport North America, from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Manny Franco. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Lake Forest to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award, once again presented by Lydia Mariani. Congratulations to everybody today. Please get those trophies held up high for the photos. And now you guys know what to do. It's time for the champagne. Next up, we'd like to invite the winners of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM class. In third place, Matthew DL. In second place, give it up for Jan Bernier. And your winner today, Michael Mathes. Please now remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome Nick Rhodes, the thermal track manager. Matthew DL with his family here this weekend. Great for him to be up on the podium with the kids along as well. Second place, Jan Bernier. Great racing today. And Michael Mathes with the pass again for the win. Good job, guys. We also invite Lydia Mariani, Pirelli Commercial Manager Motorsport North America, from our partners at Pirelli to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Michael Mathes. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Central New Jersey to accept the Trofeo Pirelli AM Team Award, once again presented by Nick Rhodes, the Thermal Track Manager. Okay, get those trophies held up high then, please, people. And then one last job to do. There we are, that's it. Time for the champagne. Next up, we'd like to invite the winners of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell category. Please welcome, in third place, Michael Owens. In second place, give it up for Gary Ott. And your winner today, Mike Chen. So please remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. like to introduce Joseph Penna from Ferrari Lifestyle Americas to present the awards to our winners. Great recovery from Michael Owens to get P3 here on day 2. Job well done. Second place, Gary Ott. After a P4 yesterday, it's a good start to his championship year. And your winner, double fastest lap, double pole. Brilliant job by Mike Chen. The Gentleman's Cup as well going to Gary Ott, who's in second up there. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Beverly Hills to accept the Copper Shell Team Award, once again presented by Joseph Penna. Right, get the trophies held high, please, for the photos. And now it is time for the champagne. And finally, we have the presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell Am. In third place, please welcome Tim Dweet. In P2, Fabian Sperman. And your winner, Blake Rosser. Also, please welcome our Ladies' Cup winner, Melissa Kozira. And our Gentleman's Cup winner, Glenn Moss. So please now remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. Please welcome to the stage to present the trophies to our winners, Abe Velasco, Ferrari Financial Services. Tim Dweet with P3, good job. Fabian Sperman gets second place, there we go. And your winner, double winner this weekend, Blake Rosser, great job. Melissa Kozira, twice winner of the Ladies' Cup this weekend. Another fantastic start for her to her championship campaign. And on the other side of the stage, your Gentleman's Cup winner, Glenn Moss. Please now welcome a representative from Ferrari of San Diego to accept the Copper Shell Am Team Award, once again presented by Abe Velasco. Right, that's it then. Get those trophies held high. One last set of photos, people. And one last time, it is time for the champagne! That's it from us here at Ferrari Challenge North America for the first weekend of 2026. Coming to you from the Thermal Club in California. Brilliant racing throughout, and especially today. We can't wait for round two. We're going to do it all again in just a few weeks' time when we head across to Sebring International Raceway in Florida to continue the championship fight. We will see you guys there.